Hi YouTube, here I am just giving my 2015 Fall Fashion Week review. So my three top most interesting shows would have to be Zheng Toy, Monique Lhuillier, and Eckhaus Latta. And my favorite collections would have to be Vivienne Tam and Zheng Toy, and probably Monique Lhuillier as well, just because they're so stunning. So I'll start with my most interesting shows. The Zheng Toy show was very simple. There was no logo. They didn't have Zheng Toy's name on the back of the runway. It's just a white wooden runway, and the models were just coming out in these beautiful, beautiful dresses and skirts and pants and sweaters and furs, and everything, for the most part, seemed ready to wear. And the entire time that they were walking, there was opera music playing, and so they didn't have the same fast-paced walk that they usually have, which makes it almost impossible to take pictures of them. As you know, if you're in the front row, you're so close to the clothes and they're moving so quickly that it's just a blur. But it was really nice. They're walking very slowly. There's this beautiful, relaxing music, and it was also just a phenomenal collection. Eckhaus Latta was a very unique show because it had very interesting designs. It was perhaps a little bit less street ready to wear for some of it, but it was very unique, and all of the models were coming out in Eckhaus's Nike sneaker line. And during the show there was someone playing the saxophone and someone was on a synthesizer, and there were vocalists singing this really beautiful song, and there was a girl with a hammer breaking holes in the wall of the gallery that we were watching this show in. And there were no seats, you just stood along the runway, and the runway was also very unique because it was a figure 8 format. And so that was really interesting. I was very glad to have been able to see it. And the third, also very interesting show would have to be Monique Lhuillier, and this was a very, very unique show that it's extremely memorable because the models were walking down the runway, but instead of going back off stage, they would start climbing steps, and they all climb these steps, and so these models are going and weaving in and out as they're staggering themselves on these steps, and it looked really psychedelic and really far out. And at the end they all came forward, and the beat was very slow, and I felt like I was watching like Beyond the Black Rainbow, one of those really heavy movies that you feel like you're in a daze or a haze. And it was a really great show, and the collection was stunning. It was all very formal because she only makes couture clothing, but these dresses were very form-fitting. They were glamorous, they were lace, they were really, really beautiful. And so the designer that I would say had very beautiful clothing, along with Lhuillier and Zheng Toy, would be Vivienne Tam. And she just always has really beautiful silks and leathers and all kinds of fabrics, and her silhouettes are what I find most pleasing because I really like A-line silhouettes, and an A-line is like fitted bodice to the waist, to the natural waist, not an empire waist, and then a skirt that kind of makes an A shape. And it's a very feminine look, and I think it's very flattering for a lot of people. And so she had a lot of A-line dresses and skirts and whatnot, and it was really a beautiful line. It wasn't a particularly different show, but the collection is in itself, the collection is spectacular. So that's my fall 2015 fashion review, and I can't wait for next season. Bye, YouTube.